A Day with Caleb. This is the Unknown Gems series. Today we're covering Omar's Partners. Let's jump right in. This 1987 film, directed by Alan Kingsburg, was made for TV, so budget and filming locations are unknown. The company Timely Family Classics is seen in the intro. The film is set in New York, so my guess is that was the location. And the budget probably conservative considering it was made for TV. This film covers Molly McHugh, who is bored with her suburban life. She's living with her grandmother right now. She is enthralled with these detective books. She wants to become this one detective, and soon she has her chance when her grandfather's remains in an urn is stolen, and this cop who is kind of down on his luck gets assigned the case. He's reluctant, as you can imagine, because it's just a missing urn, but they soon discover that it's one of the greatest cases in that investigation, and he reluctantly works with this kid who he thinks is just some girl reading mystery novels. So they team up, they have a good friendship, and they solve this case. The cast: Paul Sorvino as Detective Jack, Royana Black as Molly, the kid detective in the film, Mary Wickles as Aggie, who is the grandmother in the film, Jace Bartok as Leon, Roy Brocksmith as Pierre Leroux, Doris Balak as Anna McHugh, as Molly's mom, Bill Farbach as Willard, who is the voice of SpongeBob, Mark as Christophilus, Richard as Nicky, Lorraine as the Gypsy, and Ray as Milo in the film. It has a legend, Paul Sorvino, as you see here in Goodfellas. A great unique mystery. It is an unexpected childhood favorite. I just love the fact that a girl and a down on his luck cop team up to solve the case. Also, there's a short, fat, and tall thief, which always stood out to me, and the girl uses the clues around the room to solve the case or break the case open. You will find that a lot of unknown gems in this series will be overlooked mysteries just like this. This film was released 1 year before we were born, and we saw it a couple times on TV, but we could never track it down. Back then, it was just VHS in the 90s. But it took years and years. We didn't have a cell phone, obviously, where you could look up things. We weren't really sure of the title. We were thinking of Cop and a Half, which came out around the same time. I think that was late 90s. Or something Cop. We didn't really put together that it was almost partners until one day at Smiley's Flea Market. You've seen me go there many times. Before our DVD guy was over to the side, we had another DVD lady who was from the UK. If you have seen my video where I explain my organization on different sections of the movie library, you know that a lot of my categorization, say that 3 times fast, and how I put stuff, most of that was based on how she kind of put her store together. She put actors together if she had a lot of films from them, John Wayne, uh, a couple other actors, Lucy Ball. She would put them kind of in the corner. Then she would have westerns, action, romance, mysteries. And one day, and she worked with us. She gave us good deals and worked cool movie stories from the UK and from her time here. And she would kind of tell us history of film and VHS, especially with the key video releases. She would tell us about those. She would throw in movies for free sometimes, but one day browsing, I was in the mystery sections and I saw this Almost Partners. And I'm like, what is that film? Then I look at the case. It is the movie that we've been searching for years and years. Finally had it owned on physical media. We didn't have to wait for some random day when it would be on TV. Now we could watch it whenever we wanted, and we wore out that VHS tape. But that was a good find out in the wild. Nowadays, with technology and eBay and Amazon, and you can look up a film and find it within seconds. The kids growing up today would never understand the struggle of trying to find a movie with no knowledge. You had a basic plot. Maybe you remember a couple of the cast. Maybe you remembered the title, but if it was on TV, most of the time you wouldn't. And for those that are still here, I actually am still looking for a film. It was also on TV. I don't know if it was released theatrical or not. I assume with the cast and that budget that probably it was a TV film just like this. This one would have been later, either the late 90s or the early 2000s. It had a group of teenagers or early adults, like 17 to 20-ish range. It had a redhead, another guy, I think he had black hair, and either one or two girls. I want to say there was 4 total. So two guys, 2 girls. They go to, I can't remember if it's Japan or China. One of those, they're either one of their fathers or their uncles. Somehow they're related to these 2 army people that get that are POWs, prisoners of war, and I can't remember the war, but probably a more modern war because there's a tank. But they go to either China or Japan. The one scene there's 2 scenes that stand out. The redhead in the film, they're kind of on this, what would you call it? It's like a motorcycle, but it's got like a big back where the people would sit. Comment down below what that is. But the redhead moons these army, either Japanese or Chinese army officers. That scene stood out for various reasons. And then the other scene, they're uh, they get their either dad or uncle, I can't, some relation to one, if not all, of the the kids involved are teens. But they get them. This tank rolls up, and they throw a grenade and blow the tank up. Those two scenes are literally the only scenes I remember. I don't remember much of the plot other than they went to rescue these prisoners of war. We did see it on TV maybe 6 years ago, and we paused it to see what it was, but it only showed what was coming up next. We waited way to the end to see, maybe sometimes they put the film at the bottom with the year. They only had the studio company, and I went on Wikipedia, searched down the list of the studio films, never could find it, and I lost that information as well. But if you remember that film, you know what I'm talking about. Do I sound crazy? Yes. But I've searched for this probably for at least 25 years. Maybe a little less than that. We'll say 20 years. I've been searching out from time to time, type in the basic plot that I know, and a lot of times, like, army men that come up, or those other, like, preteen war films where they go and free their dads or whatever. There's a lot of those. But if this specific film with the redhead, with the girls, with them rescuing the two guys from either China or Japan, if that rings a bell to you, go immediately and comment what that film is, because I've looked everywhere. And if you do help me succeed in finding it, of course, when I buy it, if it's for sale, I'll give you a shout out. Hope you enjoyed this Unknown Gems. That was a little bit of a rabbit trail there, but this is a great film. Go and buy it if you have not yet done so. Until next time, guys, like, subscribe, share with a movie friend. Until next time, keep collecting.